One of my favorite and honestly one of my most used apps on any of my phones is an app called Touch Retouch. And what it does is it allows you to go in and basically do what Google is doing with their Magic Eraser. So you can imagine that while I was reviewing my Pixel 6a, one of my most anticipated things I really wanted to try was Magic Eraser. I wanted to see, is Magic Eraser truly a next gen step over something like Touch Retouch? I think the answer may be a little bit surprising to you. Let's jump into some testing and compare them now. So we're going to start here with Magic Eraser. We're going to try and get rid of these earbuds. So let's say for some reason you wanted to do this. You're going to go into Google Photos, you're going to click Edit, and then you're going to go over to Tools and then Magic Eraser. It's going to actually look for suggestions, things you might want to get rid of. Of course, it's not going to see anything here. Let's zoom in, and we're just going to circle those earbuds, and it's actually going to use AI to determine what you wanted to get rid of and then get rid of it. Now that the earbuds are gone, although I don't think that's a very good result. So we're going to circle that shadow area, and it's going to try to get rid of that as well. And okay, that's all right. It's not fantastic. You can tell something was there before, but the earbuds, for all intents and purposes, are gone. Now, a couple of things that separate Magic Eraser is the fact that, when you circle the thing, it just grabs it. You don't really have to color it in. It's going to know what you're aiming at, and it's going to kind of do this with AI. Another cool thing about this is the camouflage option, where you can actually, let's say this was a brightly colored object. It'll actually grab it and then just desaturate it so that it's still there, but it's not going to draw your eye nearly the same way. Let's move over to my Surface Duo 2, and we will see if we can do it any better in Retouch. So we're going to click on Edit. We're going to go all the way over to More and then hit Retouch, which will open it up in that app. And now the biggest difference here with Retouch is that you have more options, right? There's just more things that you can do. You're missing the AI aspect where it's not just going to grab the earbuds. Let me bring down my brightness here. We're a little blown out. You're going to have to kind of color it in yourself, but there's more options here. So let's go to Object, and we're just going to kind of paint those earbuds and let go. Let's see what kind of result we get here. Okay, that's pretty similar to what we got on the Magic Eraser. You can see there's your side by side. They're pretty similar. So let's go ahead and circle the shadow again. I made like a Superman or like a Superman emblem there. Okay, so that's where we got with that. Let's try this again here, and let's color in that dark shadowy area, and let's see if we get it any better here on Retouch. And that's where we're at on Retouch. Now, I would actually argue that Retouch is doing a better job here. Now, something else you can actually do, though, is you can go to Clone Stamp. And with Clone Stamp, I can come over here, drag that there, and then when I start to paint this in, what it's doing is it's grabbing this texture, this part of the image, and it's letting me basically clone it in there where I'm touching. So one tap to place your stamp marker, and then you can just kind of color it in. So by doing that, can you see this? That is a pretty solid result, and that's something that Magic Eraser just isn't going to let you do. You can keep circling this area, and it's going to keep trying, and maybe eventually it's going to get closer. That's a little bit better, right? That's getting there, but you could really dial it in on Retouch. Okay, here's an interesting one. I took this picture looking through a fence into my neighbor's yard where for some reason they have parked a big Isuzu NPR or something like that. Don't know why that's there, but whatever it is. Let's go to Tools and let's go to Magic Eraser and let's see what it does there. I've actually not tried this with a fence yet, and it says that there's suggestions there, but nothing's highlighted on the screen. So we're just gonna hit Erase All and see what the suggestion was. Did it see the fence? I don't know what it did. It did something, but oh wow, okay. For some reason, the suggestion here is that. I don't know why that was the suggestion. Okay, maybe not a great example there. Okay, let's go into Erase. And I don't know how to get rid of this fence. Can I? It's supposed to be able to do this, but it's not detecting the fence. I could draw lines across the fence. Okay, it actually grabbed the fence there. Do I have to actually manually go? Surely not. I guess I could sit here and do this. I could go across each part of the fence, but I was under the impression that this was supposed to be something that it would automatically recognize the mesh, the fence, and just get rid of itself. So we're going to go through this, trying our best to actually just hide. And I mean, look, I'm probably not doing the best job because I'm probably missing the fence a little bit here and there, but I mean, that's a pretty bad result. I could probably keep going, but I don't know why I would at that point. Let's go to Touch Retouch, and let's just click on meshes, and it's actually going to just look for the mesh itself, and it sees it. And we're going to leave everything as it is, selection accuracy. I'm not really sure what to make of that. We'll leave it where it was, and we'll just hit go. And it's going to get rid of all of the mesh on its own. Like I said, I thought that was supposed to work like that on the Pixel. If you know why that didn't work, is it just a fluke? Let me know in the comments. But, I mean, look, this is a real case here. And you tell me which one did a better job of getting rid of the mesh. Me having to do it manually? Man, there's got to be a better way on the Pixel. That has to just be a fluke or something. That worked really well. And let's use this as the last image just because I know it's going to freak people out. I have a barn on my property, and this is a saw, and I actually needed my tape measure, and I went to go get it, and some paper wasps had made a nest right in front of my tape measure. So I had to very delicately, very gingerly sneak up and very carefully take my tape measure and leave. Yes, I do need to clean up my barn. It's a barn, okay? So don't knock me for that. But I know it's going to creep people out, so we're going to use it. So let's go to Tools, and we're going to try and magic erase the tape measure itself. Let me show you the camouflage feature here on the tape measure because I think it's red and it will work well. That's kind of how that works. It's still there, but it's not going to draw your eye. Now let's actually erase the thing. Let's circle it. It should grab it, and hey, that did a pretty decent job. It actually replaced it with sawdust, which is actually fairly convincing. Let's try on the Duo. Something I've not mentioned here is you have object, lines, meshes, and then clone stamp. We've talked about clone stamp and meshes. What lines does is basically it will try to find a straight line in the image. So like if there was a power line or something, you would just touch it, and it's looking for straight lines to remove. So that's kind of how that works, and it does work pretty well. We're going to use object for this, and there is brush, lasso, and eraser. Eraser gets rid of what you're brushing, and then the lasso would let you kind of approximate the Google thing where it's just going to fill it in like that. So that's a little quicker than painting it and coloring it in. The shadows got a little bit wonky there. Let's go back and let's use the brush this time so we can be a little bit more precise. And I like to just kind of paint the edges and then sort of fill it in a little bit. And you got to be, you can be kind of broad. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so this one, not doing a great job. It's actually adding more wasps down here, which is not what you want. Sometimes, though, you can hit back and then hit go again, and it will give you a slightly different result. I think in this instance, the Pixel is doing the better job. Okay, we're kind of in this area now. So now let's take this and let's color that in and see if we can get more table. Okay, we're looking pretty decent. Let's give it another shot at it and see if we can get anything better. Okay, at that point, that I think is pretty solid. Obviously, I've done a bit more work on Retouch than I did on the Pixels. So let's circle that dark area and see if we can get it any closer, just to be fair, because I did that on Retouch. So let's keep things nice and consistent. I don't think it's really getting better as I'm doing this. Maybe a little bit. They've ended up in a pretty similar place, though, at the end of the day. So what do you think? Are those results surprising to you? We were told that, Tensor is required. The Google Tensor chip is required for Magic Eraser, and it's AI, and it's incredible, and it is. It's very good. But Touch Retouch on the Play Store, what is it, $3 or $4, you can see how close it is to being able to do the same things. In some instances, Magic Eraser is better, right? In other instances, Touch Retouch does the better job, and the additional features like the clone stamp tend to really give me that advantage. That last image that we looked at there, right, where they were similar, well, if I wanted to take it a step further, I could use that clone stamp and I could make the Duo one, the one with Retouch, look better than that because I just have more tools at my disposal. Magic Eraser is more automatic, but Touch Retouch allows you to really drill down and make things look the way that you would want them to look. And again, for $4, you can have it on any phone that you want, on any tablet that you want. And I use it all the time. And I don't think Magic Eraser, like I had this thought that like, oh, well, now that I own this and I have Magic Eraser, what I'm probably going to do is I'll take a picture with this phone because this is my daily driver and I'm going to want to fix it. So I'll go to Google Photos on this phone and fix it here. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use Retouch on my Duo because it works effectively as well. Let me know what you think about this though. Is this surprising to you? Are you going to go download Touch Retouch now because of this video? Let me know in the comments down below. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.